Chris, you guys get another win tonight in a game that definitely could have been a trap game. What did you think about how they kind of pushed through this one?
Yeah, I mean, push through is probably the right verb. It didn't feel like we had a ton of gas in the tank. Understandable after the other night and the trip across. But I thought Rudy was phenomenal. Really set the tone out there for us, both ends of the floor. We were able to have enough of a cushion and keep him at arm's length. But yeah, that's probably about it.
What are you seeing with Rudy as he's had this stretch of 5 games with 83 rebounds? Do you see him playing some of his best basketball?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it looks like the Defensive Player of the Year that he was last year. Consistently challenging everything, finishing really well, playing strong offensively around the rim, playing very smart, when the ball's delivered to him in the pocket, making a lot of really good plays out of that. Just playing within himself, but at a high level.
You said this before that Rudy's professionalism, his approach, seems to not really matter who the opponent is, and he prevents you guys from losing on nights like that.
Yes,
kind of the
absolutely
prototypical example of that.
Yeah, for sure.
What sort of how do you maybe get that mindset to some of the other guys, and just how important was it on a night like tonight?
Yeah, I think it's it's maturity and professionalism and understanding what's at stake. I thought the other guys had it in spurts, but not consistently like he did. I thought Ant was really good though for the most part, and Nikhil as well. Those guys I thought were the most consistent guys out there. But we're gonna need to regroup here and find a second win. Because we still got a lot of basketball. It means a lot to play.
What are maybe 1 or 2 things just offensively that you're doing with Rudy and having him get involved that you weren't doing earlier, and that's been the key to how successful you've been able to utilize him this last stretch here?
Yeah, I mean we're throwing him the ball in the pocket. They continue to put 2 on the ball, and we're trusting him in the pocket, and I think we have kind of better spacing around him too. Just we can get the things that feel very repeatable with him right now, and it's really his ability to catch and finish that's been huge. So.
What was your view of Ant's injury scare there?
Yeah, I didn't see it. I didn't see it, or I would have told our guys to foul. I didn't realize that he had gone down there. So. And then I heard, having heard what happened, you're always concerned when you come down on someone's foot. It's generally much worse than it seemed to be.
He does this multiple times a year, where it seems like he's really hurt, and then he comes back. How do you react in those moments? Do you try not to think the worst case scenario, or just? Yeah,
I mean, I try to stay even keel through everything. Regardless of what it is, who it is. You never know. So obviously concerned for him and for us, but I think it's a place where his exceptional athleticism really shows up. He can take some nasty spills and seemingly recover well.
Coach, talking about Ant, there seemed like moments there where on some of his bigger plays that you guys were garnering like bigger reactions than even the home crowd.
Yeah.
What do you attribute that to? And does he feed off that kind of energy?
Oh, yeah.
Does the rest of the team feed off that energy?
Yeah, he definitely feeds off of the energy of the team, of the crowd, of the moment. It's one of the special things about him. It's why he's been able to play so well in big games from the very beginning. It's why he's been able to turn games around with a run of plays. He has this innate feel and ability to kind of sense that and create it, and then, also it feeds itself with him. So.
And you talked about today, pregame, how Brooklyn has this ability to kind of junk up the game and make things hard for you guys, especially when you're coming off a tough game. Do you feel like they did that for a while, and how did you guys end up putting space between you?
I think they did that for a while. They played super physical. They switched a lot of things that they could. Then they came and trapped us, put 2 on the ball. They played a little bit of zone. We knew all that was coming. You just don't know when. But we've been doing a pretty good job of thinking our way through games right now. One of the keys I think tonight was just to calm down and get to better space. we probably had too much kind of flying around out there and or fighting the game a little bit early on. But once we got to good space and around pick and roll in particular, we were able to get some, good looks and repeat that.
Coach, I wanted to ask you about, unrelated to tonight's game, about Luka Garza's progress this year behind the scenes. You see him all the time, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, Luka continues to be the consummate professional. We're lucky here that we have a lot of really talented bigs. It's probably thwarted his opportunity to play more. He's, in my mind, he's definitely like a rotational big in this league. We kind of have him a little bit more as a break glass in case of emergency type guy, but he's a guy that can really score the ball at all different levels. Rebounds extremely well. He's become a rim protector with his ability to take charges, which is impressive. When you put him in the game, let's say in garbage time, like you always know that there's going to be structure and purpose to what you're doing. He's not going to let anything slip there. And he's been an incredible role model for our younger players because of the way he works and his positive attitude.
And this upcoming summer, obviously, he's a Bosnian national team player.
Yeah.
Do you see that as a positive, him playing for
Oh,
the
absolutely.
national team?
Yeah, we encourage all of our guys to play when they have the opportunity. We're fully supportive of that. It's an incredible, experience. It's a way to play high-level basketball and keep yourself sharp in the summer. So we're big fans of that.